Being a full-time student at the University of Michigan while running my own business is chaotic to say the least. So here's exactly what that looks like hour by hour for a real day in my life. If you watch my other vlogs, you would know that I start the day by cleaning my house. It seems like a lot, but it's a small thing that you can do to make sure that when you finally walk through the door at like 9:30 p.m. as a college student, you can just relax, take off your clothes, and go to sleep. Good morning, everyone. We are now currently on South Campus, and I'm ready to start my day. So you guys saw a little bit of a glimpse into my morning, but now we have a packed agenda. As you've seen, I have 3 classes today. I also have to get a new M card. I lost my ID. Then I have a club meeting at 7, and then I'm trying to get as much work done as possible because this weekend is fall study break. I'm not trying to actually study on fall study break, which means that I have to do all of my studying this week. So without further ado, let's get into the video. The first thing we're going to do is go get my M card. Hopefully I can get it replaced relatively quickly because I have class at 11 p.m. Being a full-time college student and running your own business means you always have to cram as many things as possible into the smallest periods of time. So when I have to go out of my way to do one thing, I like to stack every single thing I have to do on top of it, which is why we didn't end up going home today until about 9:30 p.m. Okay, new M card secured. That was relatively easy, but it did take a long time because someone was arguing about a receipt. And I was like, one thing about Michigan is like, if you want a receipt, they're not going to give it to you. Like, they're going to give you a random piece of paper that just has like serial code numbers on it, and you're supposed to know what that was for. So that took a little bit longer than what I was expecting, but the actual M card process was relatively easy. Now we're headed to French. Where am I? I left through a new exit. Oh, I'm behind the frats that I was just showing you guys. So I'm walking in the opposite direction of where I need to be. So now I have to do a full circle, but it's okay. We're going to walk in a circle, go back to class, and I'm probably going to catch you guys after French when we are going to go to Shapiro and go get an iced caramel cram and coffee with a blueberry muffin. I think that's what I'm feeling today. I actually had to cut about 20 minutes of me just walking, but if you guys ever want the extended version of these vlogs, just let me know in the comments and I will make it for you. French class was awesome. I really do miss this professor. You don't realize how much you love your professors until after you leave them. Okay, so we just finished French. We're gonna go get some coffee, and then I was gonna get a blueberry muffin, but actually they're giving away free donuts at Ross. So we're gonna go grab an apple cider donut, or like the cider donuts. If you know, you know, but I'm gonna go grab like 2 of those and then head to my next class, which starts at 1. This was probably the most productive 1 hour of my entire life because I got so much done in such a little period of time. I ended up not getting the blueberry muffin and actually getting sushi and an Oreo muffin because one thing about the University of Michigan is they're always gonna have good food to eat. And if I were to get that every single day, I probably would spend over $100 a week. But I found a nice little space in the 3rd floor library section to lock in. And what I did was first start with a brain dump, which just is me staring at a computer screen and writing anything that comes to mind. This is how I like to study for my language classes because you need to make sure that the connections are actually in your head. So whether it's actually studying or getting stuff done for my job, you still need to be productive in every single part of your life, even eating, because you really just don't have time to be slacking if you want to still remain comfortable in your deadlines. Hey guys, so now we're headed to my class. I have 15 minutes to get there, and it's exactly a 15-minute walk, but I'll make it. Like, one thing about living in New York but going to school in Michigan is like you walk faster than the average person here. So Google Maps says 15 minutes. If you're from city, make it 10. I'll probably see you guys after both of my classes. I have 2 back-to-backs. I don't know when I'll see you, but I'll see you. If you guys can avoid double stacking your classes, then by all means avoid double stacking your classes. But for me, because I have such limited time in a day, I like to get all of my classes done as soon as possible. So sometimes that means that I have a 3-hour class stretch in the middle of the day. And this was just one of those days. Hey guys, so I'm in Trotter, and Trotter is honestly the best place to lock in. So I'm going to be doing all of the French homework I can and people watching essentially, because that's why I like to work here. And then we have a meeting at 7 o'clock. So I have 3 hours from that meeting to start time to get stuff done. Hopefully I'm able to like crack down at least like 2 or 3 projects and do a little bit of work. And then we're good to go. Surprisingly, this session was actually less productive than the one I had earlier, even though it was double the time. But I think it's partially because look at the views. Like, how can I focus when I can just be breathing in fresh air? But then Michigan did what Michigan always does, which was got cold on me, so I moved inside. But by the time I finished studying and moving inside, it was time to go to my meeting anyways. Hey guys, so the lock-in session's done. Now we are heading back to Ross so that I can go to my club meeting. And then after my club meeting, I think I have to walk my dad through some business things. And then I'm officially done with the day, but we're not done yet. We still have a whole meeting to go, a bus ride, and just lots of other fun things that come with being like a full-time working student and also like being a part of the community at the same time. But I'm gonna get to my other place and try not to crash while I get there. Aside from the 3 p.m. slump, I honestly will say that 6 to 8 p.m. slump is the worst because you're too late to have caffeine, but it's too early in the day to go to sleep, so you're just fighting to stay awake. I had a bit of time before my meeting to get some stuff done, and then I met with my group to talk about what we're gonna do for the next club year. Hey guys, so I just finished my day and now we're waiting for the bus, but I don't know if I'm gonna do a nighttime closing or whatever. So if I don't, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed a very productive and very interesting, I would say, day in my life. Hopefully it showed you a little bit of what going to Michigan and being a business student is. It's a lot of meetings, it's a lot of random studying, taking breaks when you can, but overall it's also about getting things done and making sure you're happy and healthy while doing it. So my name is Kayla, and that about does it for this video. Bye everyone.